All right, gamers, welcome in to a new Let's Play series. Today we are starting The Elder Scrolls Chapter 1, The Arena, aka The Elder Scrolls Arena. Now, we've got a little bit of lore that we're going to get here at the beginning. I'm going to try and read it. It goes by very quickly, so buckle up. For centuries, different factions battled in petty wars and border conflicts until 2E 896, Tiber Septim crushed all of those who opposed him and took control, proclaiming himself as emperor. Still, the bitter years of war had its effect on the populace. The name Tamriel, Elvish for Dawn's Beauty. Couldn't read anymore. Different sides of the same coin tossed every day. The people of the known world began calling it the land of their sorrow, the Arena. Now, 492 years after Tiber Septim took control and kept the peace, the land of the Arena has a new threat. The Emperor, Uriel Septim VI, celebrates his 43rd birthday. It is said that hope flies on death's wings. Prepare then, for as the Elder Scrolls foretold, it will be here that your adventure begins. So, I wanted to play through all of the Elder Scrolls games on the channel, and the Arena is the first installment. It is a very old game. It's a bit dated as far as most gamers' standards go, but for a guy like me, I really appreciate old games. I'm not someone that needs the newest graphics to enjoy a game. I don't need the best systems. I can appreciate an older game, 20, 30, 40 years old, for what it is, what it was trying to do, the story that it was telling, the world building that it did, and how it influenced future games after it. And I personally, I've got a lot of nostalgia with older games. Even if I haven't played those games, it takes me back to a time when I was younger and what games looked like and felt like back when I was a kid, right? So we're starting with the Arena. I was just looking through my Steam library and I was like, you know what, I want to play something new. We're working on Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO, and Kingdom Hearts right now as of the time that I'm recording this. And I just wanted something else to kind of mix it up. So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and start up with the Arena. I played this game once before for like 2 hours. I didn't expect to really enjoy it, honestly. But I did. I only escaped the very first like dungeon or prison, because in the Elder Scrolls games you always start out in a prison. I only escaped the first prison / dungeon and called it there because I knew one day in the future I was going to start a YouTube channel and I wanted to record all this stuff and my first experience with it. So I put it down and I'm finally here like a year and a half, 2 years later, whatever it is, whatever it's been. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and start up a new game. I think we get a little more lore. That's going to be... I've turned this volume down now. Hopefully it's not extremely loud. Last time I tried to record this a couple minutes ago, it was blowing up my speakers. So we're going to start a new game, read a little bit more lore. Okay, it seems fine. Uriel Septim IV, Emperor of Tamriel, stands with Yalin Talon, leader of the Imperial Guards. They have been summoned by Jaeger Tharn, Imperial Battle Mage of the Empire, on rumors of treachery. The Emperor is betrayed. And transported to a dimension of Yarn's choosing. I think that's Yarn? Tarn? After months of preparing, Jaeger Tharn, it is Tharn, takes the throne. Jaeger Tharn. Rhea Silmain, once Tharn's apprentice, is captured before she can warn the Elder Council of the Imperial Battle Mage's tricks, manipulating the essence of magic. Tharn prepares to take the true Empire's place as ruler of the known land. The Imperial Wizard wastes no time in gathering his servants and turning them into twisted counterparts of the Emperor's Guard, excuse me. And just randomly, abruptly, it ends just like that. So, in the Arena, you can choose one of two ways to make a class. You can either generate your class or select your class. I think in most Elder Scrolls, because I haven't played them all, there's a way to kind of take a test or generate what class the game thinks you should play. I really want to be this kind of rogue class, but I think generating would be more fun, so let's try. 10 questions shall be asked that will determine the path of your destiny. The scroll bars roll the parchment up or down. Use the A, B, or C keys to answer the questions. Okay, so the scroll bars what are the scroll bars? Is that that can't be my mouse wheel. I don't think anything is really mouse wheel bound here. I think it might be up and down on the old D-pad here. Let's try. You're at weapons practice with Arms Master Festil. He's very old now, but takes his teachings very seriously. In fact, you've heard him comment that is all he has left in life. Today he has ceaselessly taunted you at every mistake. Finally, he asks you to attack him with the same technique you just did in a... Now hold on here, I gotta figure out how to scroll this here. Because it's not... it's not what you would think. It's no key that I'm pressing. I don't want to press A, B, or C. Hello? Hello? Oh, I can drag it. Okay. With the same technique you just... Finally, he asks you to attack him with the same technique you just did in an effort to show you the proper execution. Do you do the technique just fast enough so that he can block it, knowing that it is more important to allow the master to retain dignity, regardless of your personal feelings? Attack him at full speed, knowing that you could probably score the hit and justify his unfair treatment of you by showing the class that you are actually doing it right. Refuse and leave practice, unable to compromise your anger with his dignity, and realize that whatever course you choose would cause you to lose respect for either him or for yourself. Now, the older, more young version of me would probably choose C. I had a lot of anger issues when I was younger and didn't really know how to regulate them. I would get frustrated easily. I'd storm off or whatever, so... But the new me, the more aged and wizened... Oh, I clicked the X. I see the scroll bars. That's actually so cool. The newer, older version of myself, I think I would probably respect his teachings and just try to swing fast enough so that he can block it and retain his dignity. He's an older man, and, you know, he's taught us a lot. I have to show respect out of that, so I think I'm going to go with A. There we go, there's one. Othisa, a friend, has been beat by a boy several years older than either you or her. She asks for your help. Are you more inclined to gather a bunch of friends together and ambush the boy, teaching him a lesson about bullying? Tell Othisa to avoid the bully, no reason to make things worse than they are. Or C, challenge the older boy, knowing that you will probably take a beating, but confident that if you do it enough times, he will move on to pick on someone who is an easier target. Now this is tough. I feel like realistically, it's got to be between A or C for me. I don't really like the idea of jumping someone, and at the same time, I am currently, I'm in the gym 5 times a day, I'm rock climbing, I'm trying to take some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes and some other martial arts classes, so I feel like it might be C. I might have to challenge this guy. Who knows, maybe he's just a bully and we could actually beat his ass. Teaching him a lesson, 1, to don't ever put your hands on anyone. That's a rule that no one should do. But 2, also maybe getting some respect from the shawty. And protecting a friend, right? So I think I'm gonna go with C here. On a clear day, you chance upon a strange animal, its leg trapped in a hunter's claw snare. Judging from the bleeding, it will not survive long. Do you draw your dagger, mercifully ending its life with a single thrust? B, do not interfere in the natural evolution of events, but rather take the opportunity to learn more about a strange animal that you've never seen before. C, use herbs from your pack to put it to sleep, then free it from the claw snare and take it somewhere where it can be safe, knowing that in doing so, you will probably deprive a hunter and his family of sustenance. Well, if I put myself back in these day and ages, I would not take away from a hunter and his family of sustenance. It's also not my snare, and it's not my business to kind of deny a family a meal. I used to be a vegetarian and like a vegan for a little bit, but I love animals. I am like an animal guy, but at the same time, I've come to grow over the years a level of appreciation of all is one and one is all, as the Elric brothers would say, right? The fox eats the rat so that we might hunt the fox, and we can eat the fox, and then our bodies will die and decompose and nurture other forms of life, right? That is the cycle. So me personally, I think I would draw my dagger and mercifully end its life with a single thrust. That way it's not suffering, and the hunter and his family can still eat with their tools and their, traps that they laid out for a meal, right? So let's go with A. The senior student in your weapons class has trounced you unmercifully for the past several years. Today is the tournament of students, and you find, with your dismay, that you are paired against him for your first match. As you prepare, your friend approaches and offers to tell you of an injury the senior student suffered in yesterday's sparring classes, which you missed. Do you accept the offer, knowing that it would allow you to concentrate on the injured area and greatly increases your chances of beating him? Refuse the offer, knowing that win or lose, you would rather do it through your own skill and not some extra knowledge in what should be fair and honorable fight. C. Accept the offer, reasoning that it is better to have the knowledge in case you need it, and realize that having the knowledge does not necessarily mean using it. Well, me personally, I'm the kind of guy that knowledge is a weapon, knowledge is power, and I would want to know all that I could. If he had an injury, I want to know. I'm going with A. I'm going to accept the offer, tell me where, and I'm focusing that limb, bro. Oh, I'm just now noticing in the sky you can see the stars are kind of starting to, I think, show our class between a warrior and a rogue there in the skylight. I hope we get rogue. I'm definitely, you guys know me, that's my archetype. So your mother asks you to help fix the stove. While you're working, a very hot pipe slips its moorings and falls towards her. Do you push your mother out of the way? Grab the hot pipe and try and push it away? Position yourself between the pipe and your mother. I feel like if I'm thinking like instinctually, if I saw something dangerous and or potentially like lethal falling towards my mother or heading, in the direction of my mother or whatever it is, I'd either intervene or purposely try and like injure myself instead of her. So like grab it, push it, slap it out of the way. I wouldn't really want to push her because I might hurt her myself. So it's between B and C for me. I think I would probably do B, grab the hot pipe and try and push it away. There's a lot of heated discussion at the local tavern over a group of people called telepaths. They've been hired by certain city-state kings. Rumor has it these telepaths read a person's mind and tell their lord whether a follower is telling the truth or not. You believe that this is a terrible practice. A person's thoughts are his own, and no one, not even a king, has the right to make such an invasion into another human's mind. I'm kind of vibing with that hard. B. Loyal followers to the king have nothing to fear from a telepath. It is important to have a method of finding assassins and spies before it's too late. Boo, boo. Or C. In these times, it is necessary evil. Although you do not necessarily like the idea, a telepath could be a certain advantage during a time of war or finding someone innocent of a crime. I do think it could be nice to find someone innocent of a crime, but at the same time, a man is his own, and not even a king has the right to make such an invasion into another human's mind, in my opinion. One night walking home, you were attacked by a young man you know from Arms Master Festal's class. You defend yourself ably and knock him unconscious. While he's out, you tie him up, intending to interrogate him later when he wakes up. You want to know why he attacked you? You can then turn him into the Arms Master at your leisure. slit his throat. You know him from class and think he would have done the same had your position been reversed. C. Leave him with a visible scar. The knowledge of his defeat at your hands, and the visible reminder punishment is enough for one who has resorted to such dishonorable tactics. I mean, if I'm putting myself in the shoes, I wouldn't want to just kill the guy. I mean, sure, he tried to jump me and possibly kill me himself, but at the same time, we're better than that, right? We're better men than that, so I feel like I would leave him with a visible scar, knowledge of his defeat, and a reminder. And hell, if I could beat him once, I could beat him again, so if he tried it again, then I'd slit his throat. But I don't think this is going to push me towards the rogue option. I think obviously B is the rogue option here, but... Your father tells you one night the story of his battle at Borum Valley, where his men had routed the enemy. They would have captured them all, if not for the brave sacrifice of a young sergeant on the opposing side, who held a pass long enough for his men to retreat to safety. He had done so knowing that it would cost him his life. If you had been that man, would you have A. Fled, rationalizing that your experience with battle tactics was too valuable to be wasted and could make the difference later? B. Held the pass also, so that the men under your command could flee, though it meant your life? Or C. Searched for some means to sorry if I misread some of this. You can see the text obviously yourself. It can be a bit tricky to read this. We're playing this in a DOS box emulator, so it's like, you know, search for some means to distract the enemy so that your men might have the possibility of escaping, but not at the cost of your own life. Well, I like to think of myself as a guy that I would love to die like an honorable death. I would love to die a romantic death, but at the same time, I don't know if I have the stones. I don't know if anyone in this day and age has those kind of stones, those like warrior stones of like... Now, if it was women and children, I think in the moment I could be like, I'll hold them off, get out, you know what I mean? Because, well, you can't ask for a better death than that, but... And it's like, these are your own men, bro. These are your own men, so it's like, that is pretty damn heroic, but at the same time... I think realistically, if I'm being real with myself, it might be between A or C. I would hate to have just fled, though. I would feel for the rest of my life like a coward. There's no way that I could not feel like a coward, and living with that shame would be so rough. I've done some regrettable things in my life, and you have to live with those things, and it keeps you up at night. And that would be one of those things that would keep you up at night for the rest of your life. And would it even be worth being alive if you were miserable the whole time? I don't think so. I think I'm going to go with C and search for a means to distract the enemy so that your men might have the possibility of escaping, but not at the cost of my own life. I do value my own life, right? So that was a rogue option. I'm glad with that. Your parents are having a party for several relatives. While helping around the house, you see your cousin slip into a darkened room. Curious, you follow and discover him slipping a silver candlestick into his jacket. He's an honorable boy, but you know his family has suffered some recent financial hardship. He's not seen you yet. Do you clear your throat, tell him to put the candlestick back, reassuring him that your parents can help him if his family is in trouble, but he should not resort to stealing? B. Close the door behind him and say nothing. Your family can live without the candlestick, but your cousin's family obviously can't. Or C. Treat him like any other burglar. Lock him in the room and call for your father. If he chooses to be merciful because of your cousin's poverty, that is his decision. It is your father's candlestick, after all. I think, honestly, in a situation like this, if he's my cousin and I know him, he's probably stealing out of necessity, and he's not asking because he's ashamed. He's not asking for funds because he's ashamed, right? So I'd probably just close the door behind him and say nothing. If my family can live without the candlestick, we can live without the candlestick. That'd be one of those things that I would keep a close eye on, though. I wouldn't let someone just continually steal from my family, but in a one-time situation like this, if I knew what was going on, I think I would just close the door behind him. Let him, you know, keep his dignity and also, you know, kind of take care of his family. While throwing a ball to your friend, your friend breaks a window on his house. His father rushes out and demands to know who broke the window. You know that your friend's father is a strict disciplinarian and will punish your friend severely if he takes the blame. You, on the other hand, not being his son, could get away virtually unscathed. Do you raise your hand and take the blame before your friend can answer? Remain silent and not get involved. Point at your friend knowing that anything else would probably delay the inevitable and make things just that much worse for him. I like the idea of being a good friend in life. And I'm pretty sure, you know, I've got a decent friend circle, but I'm sure I've let many friends down in my life. Realistically, if I'm in this situation, I think I remain silent and not get involved, honestly. Like, I don't think I point and be like, it was him, but I also don't think I'm like, I did it, sir. It was me. Maybe once in a blue moon I might break that one out, but I think for the most part, I'm gonna remain silent and let this son talk to his dad and explain what happened. And if he wants to pin it on me, if that's the play, I'm gonna read the room and be like, it was me, sir, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? But I'm also not gonna just like volunteer and be like, it was me. That's just me being realistic, so I think I'm gonna go with B here. Our first mage answer. Thou'st would survive longest as a ranger. Wilt thou accept thy destiny? No. I did like doing the test, and I do vibe with a ranger. You guys know me, it's like rogue ranger are my like archetypes, so I'd be happy with a ranger, but I do think I want to try and be a rogue, so let's look at the classes. Choose thy class. Acrobat, archer, assassin, barbarian, battle mage. How do I, oh, over here. Everything's done with the mouse. Okay, acrobat, archer, assassin, barbarian, bard, battle mage, burglar, healer, knight, mage, monk, nightblade, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, spell thief, spell sword, thief, and a warrior. Man, there's a couple classes I want to be here. I like the idea of an assassin. I like the idea of a nightblade. I like the idea of a rogue. I like the idea of a thief, and I also like the idea of a ranger. Can I take a look at what each of these do? No. And can I go back? No. Okay, I'm gonna be a nightblade. My name will be Bale. Choose thy gender. Male, of course. From where dost thou hail, Bale the Nightblade? Okay, so this is the Empire of Tamriel. It is a very big map. You have High Rock, Skyrim, Hammerfell, Imperial Proving, Morrowind, Elsewhere, the Black Marshes, Valenwood, and the Somerset Isles. So what I know about Tamriel is Skyrim is the land of the Norns, the dragon-speak people, the whoosh, boh guys. Morrowind is more of the trippy bug lands. I think the elves actually come from Morrowind, but I'm not 100% sure. The Imperial Providence is where, you know, most of the humans come from. Elsewhere is where the Khajiit comes from. And then other than that, I'm kind of ignorant, right? My favorite Elder Scrolls game, me personally, of all time, is Oblivion, and then followed up after that is Morrowind. The very first Elder Scrolls game I played was Morrowind. I played it as a kid on a really shitty computer, and I had no idea what I was doing. As back when games didn't hold your hand, there was no online guides, there was, you know, you had to figure things out or you were just stuck, and I got stuck in that game a lot, so I never beat it. I didn't even get very far into it. But I did love Morrowind growing up, so I think I'm honestly going to come from Morrowind. Thou'st has chosen Morrowind, land of the Dark Elves. Wouldst thou accept this as thy home? So, Morrowind is where the Dark Elves come from. Now that I can choose no, I'm actually going to look at each of these places and see. So, High Rock. Thou'st has chosen High Rock, land of the Breton. So Breton is another like subsect of human. Thou'st has chosen Skyrim, land of the Nords. basically like Viking type people, men. We're not gonna choose that. What about Hammerfell? Thou hast chosen Hammerfell, land of the Red Gods. Another kind of human-like race. You can't choose Imperial Providence. This is like the center. Thou hast chosen Black Marshes, land of the Aragonians. Wouldst thou accept this as thy home? The lizard people. Obviously, they come from the marshes. Makes sense. Thou hast chosen Elsewhere, land of the Khajiit. Wouldst thou accept this as thy home? Nope. Valenwood. Thou hast chosen Valenwood, land of the Wood Elves. Okay, this would probably be my second home. I'm between Valenwood or Morrowind. Now what about the Somerset Isles? Thou hast chosen Somerset, land of the High Elves. Okay, that would be my third choice. High Elves are more of like the knowledge inquisitive, arcane, gifted type elves. I don't really vibe with those elves. I vibe more with like the Dark Elves or the Wood Elves. If I was put in a fantasy world, I think I'd be in one of those two camps. Either the dark, living in the underground, assassin type elves, or the woodsy, rangery kind of elves, slash the druidy kind of elves. Those are usually the two archetypes that I gravitate to, so I'm going to choose Morrowind. Then thou will be known as the Nightblade Bale, who wouldst call Morrowind, land of the Dark Elves, his home. Know ye this also, thy race is as deadly as the thorns of the black rose which blooms only in thy mother's breast. Thou hast all that is graceful in thy brothers of day, yet thy mother is the moon, and thou art her children of the night. I love that. That was cool. Thy body and mind must be agile and intelligent if thou art to succeed as a Nightblade. So I think it's telling me agility and intelligence are what I'm gonna need. Go ye now in peace, let thy fate be written in the Elder Scrolls. Love that. Distribute thy points as needed, keeping in mind the recommendations for thy chosen class. So, Bale the Dark Elf, Nightblade, love it. I think we look fucking sick. I think there's like a thing where you can like re-roll stats in this game. There's like I remember seeing something where there's like an RNG to this, where if you just keep, I don't know if it's like re-rolling or you can choose like where to put these bonus points. You can get more points. I'm not gonna fuss about it too much, I think. So we have strength, intelligence, will, agility, speed, endurance, persuasion, and luck. Let me take all these points out. We'll go back to 12. So base, we have 12 damage, 91 out of 91 spell points, 0 magic defense, +2 to hit, +2 to defend. We can carry a max of 122. We have +1 on our charisma, 26 health, 113 is our fatigue. We start with 87 gold and we are level 1. Let me put a bunch of points into strength and see what that gets us. So maxed out strength, we could get +5 on our damage. So strength is just raw damage, good to know. Agility is probably going to be to hit, right? Yep. So maxed out on agility, we could get to +4. Speed, obviously how fast we move. Endurance, my health. Yep. Nope, our fatigue, actually. Oh, it is health too as well. Cool. Persuasion is my charisma, and then luck is like, obviously luck, right? So I think we're gonna do strength up to 63 at least. Agility, I would love to get this to +4 if I can. What does 2 points in endurance give me? Nothing, huh? I don't know if these are good stats, but I think I'm gonna roll with this. 65 strength, 61 intelligence, 47 willpower, 67 agility, 57 speed, 55 endurance, 55 persuasion, and 48 luck. The music ended perfectly, so it's fate. Oh, this is how we do it. So we can reroll our stats. So I had a bonus of 12 there. Let's reroll it a couple times and see what I can get. 16. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna get much better than that. Let's go with +4 to hit. Let's go with +3 on our damage. And then we already have, can we get +2 on the health? No, okay. So +1 is already gonna be as good as we can get on the health. I'm not gonna get any better on agility. I do want some willpower, I think, because it's my magic defense. Can I get this up from -2 to -1? And then this might be something that we want to work on in the future. If I can get that to 0, I think that's going to be pretty good, because magic is going to fuck me up. I also don't have a ton of spell points with my intelligence, but that's fine, I think. So really what we're running with here, 63 strength, 58 intelligence, 41 will, 70 agility, 55 speed, 56 endurance, 46 persuasion, 53 luck, 26 health, 119 fatigue, and 105 gold. We're gonna save those stats. Thou will now choose thy appearance. Thy mind canst be altered by clicking thy face. When thou art finished, select Done to enter the world of Tamriel, home of the arena. Quite a few choices. Okay, so that was 1, this is 2, that's 3, this is 4. I like 5 a lot. 6 is also pretty sick. I think I'm actually gonna rock with 6. 7 is more of like a warrior. 8, older gentleman. 9, 10, back to 1. I think I'm gonna rock with this one. Can I choose my clothes? No.
Do not fear, for it is I, Rhea Silne.
Oh, that's the
There are no others left to
apprentice.
carry on this fight. You have been left in this cell to die. Jagarthar, Imperial Battle, Mage of Tamriel, has taken on the guise of the true Emperor. He does not see you as a threat, being only a minor part of the Imperial Court. In that act of arrogance, he has made his first mistake. Look to the north wall of the cell. You will find a ruby key which will unlock the door. Take it and make your escape. The passages here were once used by Tharn to hide treasures he had stolen from the Emperor's coffin. If you wish, you can gather enough to support yourself away from the Imperial seat. Be careful. There are many creatures which inhabit the sewers now, vile rats and goblins. It is too late for me, for I am already dead. Only my powers as a sorceress keep me between this life and the next. That power, however, is waning. Do not succumb to greed, or you may find these tunnels to be your final resting place as well. I can still work my magic to a certain extent. If you travel west from this cell, then south, you will find a shift gate. It will transport
West,
you
then
far
south.
enough from the center of the Empire that you should be safe. If you survive these sewers, you will see me again. Remember, Tharn has taken on the guise of the Emperor. No one will gainsay his word for yours. I will come to you again in your dreams, so it is imperative that you rest from time to time. In that way, I will be able to communicate with you and lend my aid. You are entering a dangerous arena, my friend, one in which the players are beings beyond your mortal comprehension. I do not envy your role. There is, however, a power within you as yet untapped. Look for me when you have gained experience in the world. You are my last and best hope.
So Rhea, the apprentice, lets us know there's a key toward the north. She said if we go west then south in these tunnels, we can actually get out of here. This is a kind of point-and-click adventure here. So I'd want to go west, then south. Okay. Didn't she say to the north there was a key? What is that? Nothing? Okay. No, I think I can... Oh, there's the key. You found a ruby key. I think in the future, there's ways that I can like... Oh, I can use the... Okay. I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard. You open the door with a ruby key. So, this campfire symbol is how we camp and rest. This is how we pull out our weapon. Right now we only have hands. This is the map, which I actually can annotate. Oh, cool. I really can annotate it. That's cool. Select a target to pilfer, so we can pickpocket. You are in Imperial Dungeons. It is 12:18 in the afternoon. The date is Tyrdes, first of the Hearthfire in the year 3E389. You are currently carrying 0 kilograms out of 126. You are healthy. So this is like a status check. You can check your medicine. This is our magic here. We have Fire Dart and Light Heal. I'm going to do neither of those. This is my journal, my logbook, so I think like my quests. Then I'm not quite sure what that key is. Now if I do this, can I save my game? How many hours do I want to rest for? 3 hours. He said it was noon, so... You wake up, take a little nap. And, okay, we're gonna save our game. Not my first quest, we'll do... Vale escapes the sewers. No, we're in, I mean, I think she said we're in the sewers, but prison. We'll go with Vale escapes prison. Let me make sure it's saved. All right, perfect. All right, guys, we're gonna call this one here for now. We will continue on in the next one. I'm very excited to be playing this game. It's been a long time, so it's gonna take a little bit of time to remember the controls, figure things out. This game is truly unique, and I'm really excited. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love, and God bless gamers.